Ardbeg Scorch. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Bourbon Bytes Whiskey Reviews with the gaming twist. I'm Clifton and today we have Ardbeg Scorch committee release. This is this year's special release bottled for Ardbeg Day. Like I said, it is the committee release, so this is cask strength at 51.7% ABV. And what makes this really special is it's fiercely charred in ex-Bourbon casks. So they are doing some extra heavy char on the barrel, so it's going to bring out a lot more of that dark, sooty, smoky notes that we all kind of love about Ardbeg. Now I paid $150 for this committee release, which is a bit higher than the standard release, but like I said, it is higher proof, so y'all know I'm gonna go for the higher proof option if I can. But yeah, there's been a lot of talk about this bottle. I'm excited to really get into it and give you guys my thoughts. So for those of you that don't know, I am a bourbon lover at heart, but I really love a good peated scotch, especially the stuff coming out of Ardbeg. Ardbeg Uigeadail is for sure my absolute favorite on the shelf release. This is actually my first bottle of a committee release that I've owned. I've tried a few of the other ones, they've been fantastic, but I'm really excited to dive into this one and see what I think of it. Oh yeah, on the nose, there is a lot of ashiness. It's like a really dark, I guess sooty is the word that they use on the bottle, but I could totally get that as well. It smells almost like a campfire that was just put out, but there's still some sweetness on it that it's not entirely dominated by that sooty kind of note. There is a bit of like an herbal quality there too. I can't specifically place what it is. Definitely some licorice kind of notes, maybe some star anise. Yeah, that kind of mingles with the sweetness because it kind of reminds me of like a Sazerac cocktail a bit. Smoked, of course. It's a bit different than I'm used to though, because with Uigeadail they're using some wine finished or some wine casks versus the ex-Bourbon cask, so there's a lot more fruitiness on that. This definitely doesn't have that same kind of fruitiness, but I'm curious to see if I still like it. So let's go ahead and try it. Cheers, guys. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's still really sweet. That's crazy. I was not expecting it to be so sweet. It definitely finishes with all that peat, all that smokiness, but it starts out really bright up front. Normally with Ardbeg, I think of like a grilled meat, but this is almost like grilled meat and grilled veggies a bit. Maybe even grilled pineapple. I don't know. It's definitely in the on the grill territory. I just don't think it's all the smoked meat like I normally get with Ardbeg. Still there, of course, but there's like definitely a brighter note up front as well. Almost like a pear or like a plum or something that's been charred on the grill. Then it transitions to the typical Ardbeg meatiness. To me, this one is almost like a smoked ham on the palate. Definitely some brininess there. It does say black licorice on the bottle. I don't think it's as off-putting as some licorice notes I get on some whiskeys. I think this is more of like a traditional black licorice. Like you always see it like with like salt on the outside. Never tried it that way. I've only seen it on TV shows, but I imagine that's probably more of what they're going for with the licorice note that they say on the bottle. But if you absolutely hate the note, then you might want to avoid this. But if you're okay with a little bit of licorice, I think you'll be fine with this. Going in for a second sip, I get a lot more citrus on it. So it's almost like a lemon like pound cake or something at the very front of the palate before it goes into the smokiness. So while the proof isn't that high, it doesn't really even drink as hot as it is. I mean, it's 51.7% ABV. I would probably guess it's like less than 100, honestly. But I think it's just because it's so intense with the smokiness that the proof is kind of underneath that. And that finish, that smokiness absolutely lingers on. It still stays sweet though, which I kind of like. This still carries with it those fruity notes that I got at the very beginning of the palate. So it sticks around the whole way through. Honestly, this is one of the best Ardbegs I've ever tried. I've tried a few different ones, like I said. Uigeadail is still my typical go-to on the shelfer, but I think I would put this up there in quality with the previous committee releases. I did not try last year's Ardbeg, but I did try black. I think I prefer this over the black committee release. Even though it lacks the fruitiness that I love about Uigeadail, it still comes at you with those big, bold, meaty flavors. But there's also a hint of different kind of fruit on the front end that I think I appreciate more in this than I have in other Ardbegs. So for $150, I am not upset at all with this bottle. I think it's a fantastic expression from Ardbeg. I'm so glad to own a bottle finally of a committee release. I am curious to see how the standard on the shelf holds up to it, but I know this is getting a lot of really good attention lately. So if you've tried a chance to try this one or the on the shelf one that's coming out, I think in June, let me know what you think. Let me know if these flavors still stand true with the lower proof release, because I know that's a little bit more affordable. And if it has all the complexity and intensity of this one, that is a solid deal. I think it definitely lives up to its name. You're getting a huge burst of that smokiness that I think is more intense than other Ardbegs. Yes, there are more, peaty whiskeys out there than this, but if you appreciate a good Ardbeg type of peat, I think you're gonna definitely love this. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button down below and subscribe while you're down there if you want to see more reviews like this. But until next time, this has been Bourbon Bytes. Cheers, and I'll see you guys next video.